Tom Pace, CEO of Pace Butler Corporation, is looking for another assistant. Must have integrity, intelligence, and energy. This is a full-time job. College degree beneficial, but not necessary. Tom has had the privilege of having 6 great assistants over the last 14 years. All of them have moved on to the next step in their lives. Some have become owners of their own businesses, and some have become executives with Pace Butler or some of his other companies. All of them have great lives today. His wife is very happy that he has an assistant, and this is what she has to say about it. The reasons why someone would want to be an assistant for my husband are numerous. For starters, you would be embarking on a great adventure, exploring the world of business and entrepreneurship. There will be many opportunities to learn about running a business, travel the world in service. You would be an assistant to a man who not only talks the talk, but walks the walk and runs the run. My husband is a Christian man who owns a successful company, is an author and a motivational speaker. He is constantly working on ways to make his community and this world a better place. You would be a part of the Winners Take Action environment and going the extra mile. From the office to the road to the skies, you would have a chance to change the lives of others as well as yourself and to learn to be the best version of you. This is what his first assistant, Chase Turner, says about being his assistant. I was 21 when I met Tom. I was a college dropout that was waiting tables and chasing any get-rich-quick scheme that came my way. I was in pretty much as much financial debt as I could possibly be in. Luckily, Tom and I's paths crossed. Eventually and organically, I became his assistant, his right-hand man. In the beginning, neither of us knew really what that meant or entailed. Over time, I became involved in almost all facets of his life. Whether it was helping to launch a new business idea or picking up the kids from school, I was there to assist him in any way possible. This came with a tremendous amount of perks. We traveled a lot, sometimes in a private plane. We went snow skiing multiple times a year and went to the beach for weeks at a time. We went to the Indy 500, New York City, Chicago, and LA. You name it, we probably have been there together. I was also introduced to a lot of other successful business owners in Oklahoma City and around the country. I was on the forefront of seeing how to build, scale, and maintain a 7-figure business. Through this process of keeping up with Tom's work and life schedule, I acquired a tremendous amount of skills that have proven to be beneficial time and time again in my life and business career. Neither one of us has had the time to go into every one of these lessons, but the most important lesson is this: execution. What you'll gain from being an assistant is something most people will never learn. You'll learn how to execute. You'll learn how to skate where the puck is going. You'll learn how to do more with less. You'll learn how to get the job done no matter what it takes. And this is what 99% of business professionals lack. This is the main thing that separates those that have what they want in life and those that do not: execution. This is what his second assistant, Timothy Harlan, says about being his assistant. My first big kid job out of college was an executive assistant to Tom Pace, CEO of Pace Butler Corporation. From before I graduated high school, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. The only problem was I didn't know how. I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I didn't have anyone in my personal network at that time that I could look up to and learn from in this area. So I did what I thought was the next best thing. I went to business school and picked accounting as my major because I figured it would give me a good understanding of the numbers so I could buy or run my own business someday. If colleges have teachers' pets, that was me. I studied hard, paid attention in class, always turned my homework in on time, and tested well. I had 2 internships at a great local Fortune 500 company and graduated at the top of my class in only 3.5 years. But I still don't know how to start a business, and I was completely broke, so buying one didn't seem like an option either. I waited tables for a few months after graduation while I tried to figure out what my next step should be. Later that summer, I started to get serious about wanting to find a position and start my career and began applying at various large companies. They had attractive benefits and well mapped out career ladders, but that just wasn't for me. I couldn't get excited about climbing a traditional corporate ladder. That's when I saw the advertisement for the executive assistant position, and it piqued my interest. My willingness to work hard, give 100%, and learn with humility was a great match working with Tom Pace. I worked harder than I thought I ever would, but I also learned more than I thought possible. I read great books, listened to business philosophers, traveled with Tom to speaking engagements, sat in his confidential meetings, and got a first-hand glimpse of what running a business really looked like. I ended up working for Tom about 4 years and eventually parted with him on very good terms to venture out and start my own business. We are good friends to this day, and I look back on my years working with Tom as being very formative in my career, as they taught me so much about the practical skills and reality of owning and running a business. Today I'm truly living the American dream and have grown my company to have 8 full-time employees with plans to hire more soon. Thank you for taking a bet on me 8 years ago, Tom. This is what his third assistant, Ben Ballard, said about being his assistant. Give all you've got, and you will get way more back than a simply paycheck. During my time working for Tom Pace as his assistant, I was pushed to stretch and grow myself in ways that I probably wouldn't have done without having someone like Tom around me. It was like working with a good physical trainer at the gym who won't let you just stop after an easy few reps. A good trainer will push you to go beyond what you think you're capable of. And that's never easy, but it's good when growth happens. With Tom, I learned the value of taking action and continually moving forward. I learned about having fewer things and really taking good care of them. I learned the value of waking up early, running, and reading meaningful books. I learned by Tom's example about serving selflessly like Jesus would, giving my best effort, putting biblical lessons into action. With Tom, I visited jails and prisons, church groups, and inner city schools and saw him show people that they can have hope for a brighter future. I saw him do things that most people would never feel comfortable doing, but by doing those things with Tom, I grew. These lessons and experiences are a byproduct of working your rear off as his assistant. Tom has high expectations of his assistant. This is not your normal 8 to 5 kind of job. This is a highly demanding but highly rewarding position meant for people who are real go-getters. Working for Tom was the most difficult job I ever had, but it was also the most rewarding. This is what his fourth assistant, Gunnar Jones, says about being his assistant. If you're ready for a life-changing job, look no further. To be an assistant means you cater to another's needs. You think about the things that they didn't. You'll get paid to make an impact in others' lives and everything that is important to them. To work for Tom Pace takes a constant mindset of acceptance, humility, and gratitude. Your life will be changed by the lessons you learn in how to interact with others, how to spend your money, and how to make an impact in others' lives. I remember driving with Tom one day and a car was broke down on the road. Tom stopped the car and said, "Okay, let's help." And us boys got out and helped that family push their car to the gas station. It's those little life lessons you will learn working for Tom. The biggest thing someone has to have in order to work for Tom is a willingness to learn. You have to be teachable. And that is something I have adopted in my own life. I remain teachable because a person that decides they know it all is a person that starts failing. You can expect to meet amazing people. I had the honor to fly with Tom in private planes to many Job Corps centers, prisons, schools, and to meet authors. I met the offer of a complaint-free world, and I adopt those principles in my life today. Tom will help you, encourage you, correct you, and expect the best from you. So in order to work for him, you have to be adaptable, humble, teachable, consistent, and actually apply the lessons that you're taught. Your job will be to exceed expectations, and in return, you'll be rewarded in monetary compensation, but also in considerable amounts of experiences. I experienced the best memories with Tom and his family. I even helped give 5,000 purpose-driven life books across the state for free. I ran my first marathon with Tom. Be prepared to run a lot and read. The main points of the job are: be consistent, do your best, learn from mistakes, take correction and apply it. Think about what others need before yourself. Learn at every opportunity. Be humble and listen to the advice that is given. I learned from Tom there are a lot of ideas in the world, but a lack of action. I learned so much more than just that statement. I learned how to be a man, and in today's society that says so much. Anyone who is offered this job should see it as a blessing and treat it as such. Tom will expect greatness, but it's only because the person right for the job can give that. And they will thrive more than ever before under his direction. Tom will turn any situation into gold, and with that, this job is more than just a job. It is a life-changing experience you happen to get paid for. This is what his fifth assistant, Justin Varner, said about being his assistant. 5 great years of my life I spent working side by side with Tom, traveling, learning, growing, making a difference, and doing things I didn't think were possible. In this time, I got to see what an entrepreneur, CEO, husband, and father does on a daily basis. I was coached by him, learned about routines, and learned what I myself was capable of doing. We have done a bike trip, a motorcycle trip, and now in the beginning stages of running across the U.S. We have traveled, ran, explored in Rwanda, Israel, and Mexico City, just to name a few. I have read over 75 great books that changed the way I see myself and the world around me. Also, I cannot begin to count the number of lives that have been touched directly and indirectly by Tom and the Pace family. One of the biggest parts of my responsibility was continuing to raise my standards. In my way, I took care of my task, and also in my personal life, I took care of the most of the personal bills, booked trips, made purchases for the companies, and learned how to make decisions quickly. The job stretched me beyond what I thought I was capable of. Another big part of the job was time that we spent running together. We ran every Saturday at 6 a.m. around Lake Hefner, sharing ideas, talking about business, and being mentored by Tom. This was not an 8-to-5 job. I was on call regularly. My responsibilities went far beyond anything I have ever experienced, and they would change and grow often. I can definitely say that this was the best 5 years of my life. I cannot begin to explain all the ways I've grown, or how all these experiences with making decisions and making all kinds of people have prepared me for life and opened my eyes to a whole new world. My name's Austin Payne. I have served as the executive assistant to Tom Pace since January of 2016. Working with Tom in that time has given me a peek into a life unseen by most, the life of a CEO. What it takes to run a company, and most important, how to care for people. My role as assistant was very action-based. I learned to take action on another level. It was an honor to participate at such a high level with Tom and Pace Butler Corporation. Tom's motto is, the more you give, the more you live. The experience was more than a job for me, and it was a class on life. See, Tom has also served as my mentor. He has helped me understand the importance of routines and how to apply them in my life. The importance of reading, exercising, and dreaming. What it takes to become wealthy, and how to serve other people and become a mentor to others. I have grown a lot in this position and had priceless experiences. I have read over 25 personal development books, saved 20% of my check, contribute to an IRA, ran my first marathon, ran across the state of Texas, attended Berkshire Hathaway's shareholders meeting, and created a YouTube channel with him. The role also took me to Uganda, Africa for 2 weeks. I enjoyed the experience immensely. Tom participates in life at a high level, and you will get the opportunity to be right there with him. This can include water skiing, snow skiing, family vacations, motorcycle trips, running trips, marathons, and 10Ks. Tom is not only continuing to mentor me, but has become a lifelong friend. For more information about Tom Pace, visit his YouTube channel, or read the book, Mentor, the Kid, and the CEO, or visit www.pacebutler.com. To apply, please send your resume and a cover letter explaining why you want this position to Tom at pacebutler.com. Thank you.